Utilising Scenario Planning, Group F welcomes you to the possible futures of food production in 2050. But before we go there, let's look at where we are now. For many decades, Australians have enjoyed cheap, safe and quality high food. We export 65% of our agricultural production, making us the sixth largest food exporting nation. But what are the critical uncertainties that this industry faces? Firstly, climate change. Climate affects every aspect of food production, from farm profitability, food affordability, accessibility, quality and safety. It also determines where we grow and process our food. As temperatures increase and rainfall variability changes, we have already seen the impacts to the industry to date. This uncertainty is undeniable. Technology. With a notable track record of rapid and successful technological adaptation to date, Australian food production already utilises many systems. These include global positioning systems, digital mapping, sensory devices and intelligent fertilisers. But as bio-innovation and gene editing, robotics and machine learning, big data and artificial intelligence advance, the way our food and fibre is created will be profoundly different to what we know of today. When we contrast these two uncertainties, four possible futures emerge. Let's look at these now in detail. Scenario 1. Extreme climate change and highly advanced technology. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs. The world is significantly different in 2050 than it was in the past. In 2017, when the Australian government continued the Emissions Reduction Fund, it meant that there was little action, resulting in the continued increases in emissions. In 2050, the climate is significantly different to that of Australia in 2017. Temperatures have risen, there are more frequent and extreme weather events. Sea levels have risen and ocean acidification has caused significant coral bleaching. Unpredictable rainfall increases the risk of bushfires and droughts. And the Australian population of 35.9 million people, demand for food is high, but crops grown in 2017 cannot survive the severe climate. In the last few years, there have been constant leaps forward in the science and technology of food production, which will need to constantly evolve. Various sensors are used that constantly monitor crops, livestock, and environmental conditions, with the widespread use of autonomous agricultural robots and machines. With urban sprawl reducing agricultural land, vertical farming is used to maintain production in limited spaces. Genetically modified and transgenic crops are widely used due to the greater resilience and high temperatures, ability to grow in unfavourable conditions, and have traits such as pest resistance. Dairy and meat production has also reduced as a result of the severe climate change. With the health of animals, sources of food are limited, fertility patterns are also significantly affected. Aquatic species struggle to adapt and survive the new conditions. In 2050, GMO and lab-grown foods are essential to produce the quantity of food required to feed Australia. Scenario 2. High climate with low technology. It's kind of a big deal. 2050, a time defined by environmental disasters. It's also defined by minimal technological advances. In 2018, the Queensland megastorm resulted in widespread destruction of crops, magnifying the impacts of global warming. The Australian government responded through implementing legislation limiting the use of machinery throughout agriculture. CO2 levels rose, resulting in depleted nutritional values, so consumers demanded for better quality foods. And the review of GMO production was rejected. Temperatures rose by 2 degrees, resulting in rising sea levels, ocean acidification, mass coral bleaching, and species extinction. Farmers struggled to manage unpredictable climate change due to low technological advances. In 2040, production hits crisis levels, and consumers respond by home-growing a lot of foods. In 2044, temperatures increased by 3.1 degrees, meat production has decreased significantly. Government legislated for mass production of homegrown foods except meat products. Now, in 2050, meat consumption has decreased 95%, resulting in dependency of vitamin-based products and protein consumption. In 2050, a time restrained by legislative parameters and unpredictable weather patterns. Scenario 3. Low climate and high technology. Tech Jam. Australia is a very different place in 2050. In 2017, governments around the world gathered and decided climate change needed immediate action. The Australian government looked towards clean energy and emissions taxes. It hit 100% renewables by 2039. The popularity of electric vehicles and machinery has grown, reaching 40% use on farms by 2032. This saw a fall in the rate of temperatures increase, with emissions peaking in 2020 and then declining 66% below 2010 levels of today. Despite these efforts, temperatures rose 1 degree in 2030 and 2 degrees in 2050. Weather has become more unpredictable, with floods, frosts, droughts and bushfires becoming more common. The harsher climates have reduced milk production in Australia and also results in the fall of crop and livestock yields. To combat this, farmers begin using GMOs, improving resilience, with majority of crops and a small portion of animals being genetically modified. Microchips are implanted in livestock, providing real-time data for selective breeding, and autonomous machinery is being employed by farmers for boosting crop and livestock yields. Scenario 4. Low climate and low technology. A plateau of vegetables. In 2050, the damage of climate change has been limited to 2 degrees increase. This was achieved by society's initiative to minimise the efforts of global warming. The Australian government followed this initiative by setting a 100% renewable resource goal for 2030. To do this, all CO2 emissions are now heavily taxed. The world, now pursuing renewable resources and sustainable businesses, are starting to eclipse their competition. Solar power has become a dominant source of energy. Tools and vehicles are exclusively powered by electricity instead of fuel. Now at 2030, temperatures have only increased by 1 degree. While things could be worse, Australian agriculture has needed to adapt to its new environment, with higher global temperature periods of drought also plaguing the Australian agricultural industry. To compensate for the worsening conditions, farmland has been forcibly extended, and farmers are now provided with support and advice that is consistent in promoting performance in today's harsher environment. Everyone in Australia is doing their part to remain water conscious to ensure we have enough for everybody. Climate change is a challenge that our society has had to face, and in doing so, we have bettered ourselves and our future. Thank you.